and welcome to my channel. I'm FITZFAM and I'm back with another video. And if you're new here, hello, I love you already. Make sure you slap that subscribe button to become part of the FITZFAM today. We pretty lit, it's true. And once you've done that, make sure to follow my social medias over here to stay connected with your girl. And turn on those post notifications so you know all the tea first. Speaking of tea, if y'all did not know, my music is now available on Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, and everywhere else. So make sure you buy, stream, and download today and check out my music video for How I Like It because it slaps. But now that self-promo is out of the way, I want to try something different. So look, to be honest, I'm literally a part of the horror movie genre community, but I just don't really talk about it. So I decided to start talking about it. Like I talk about it on my TikTok now. I talk about my favorite scary movies and stuff and movies you should watch, movies that you shouldn't watch. And I thought, why not bring it over to YouTube as well? I'm not really good at this though. So this is like my first talking to the camera YouTube video that I've done in a while. But anyway, today I have for you a short list of horror movies that I have seen and will never watch again unless I'm forced to or unless somebody really wants me to watch it with them. Because I like to say that these movies made me feel some type of way. And it's not a good thing, it's not a good way. The way that I mean is like after the movie ends, I'm sitting here like this, thinking about everything that just happened throughout the movie. And warning, I might be giving spoilers, so if you want to see these movies, you probably shouldn't watch this because I'm probably going to tell you everything that I remember or that I looked up. And if I don't get copyright strike, I might include clips. But anyways, let's start with the first movie. Hereditary. I know most of you have probably already seen this movie. I have seen this movie, but I only needed to see it once because of what happened in it. So let me tell you, this movie is about a lady named Annie. She is a mom. She has a daughter named Charlie and a son named Peter and a husband. What's his name? I forgot the husband's name. Steve. Okay, so basically the family starts at this funeral for Annie's mom. And first of all, they couldn't believe how many people was at this funeral. They was like, oh shoot, Ellen had a fan club basically. But after the funeral, Annie went to a support group and she revealed that her and her mom, they didn't really have a good relationship until Charlie, the daughter, was born. Like as soon as Charlie was born, Ellen switched up and she started taking care of Charlie. She was like #1 grandma. But anyways, days go on and Peter, the son, got invited to a party. And I don't know why Annie did this. The mom, she was like, why don't you take Charlie as well? Which is the daughter who is way younger than Peter is. So why would he take her to the party? But he ended up taking her to the party, which was a mistake, and you'll find out why. So Peter was being dumb and he left Charlie unattended. And she is allergic to peanuts, which he wasn't even paying attention to because she ended up eating something with peanuts in it. And she went into anaphylactic shock. Did I say that right? I hope. So they had to rush to the hospital. And Peter is driving to the hospital. And as he's driving, Charlie's in the backseat gasping for air, you know, reaching out of the car, just trying to breathe like, and this part right here was the main reason why I didn't like the movie. So there was a deer in the middle of the road, which Peter didn't see to the last minute. So he swerves. And as he swerved to avoid the deer, Charlie was decapitated by a telephone pole. And you saw it all. And after all of that happens, Peter has no choice but to drive with Charlie headless in the back seat of his car. I was scarred. Bars. So yeah, Annie, the mother, finds Charlie in the back seat of the car and they have to have another funeral. Obviously, Peter is guilty and he is like reclusive now. He is not hanging out with anybody. He is not to be bothered. And my girl Annie is resentful towards Peter, her own son, although he was the one that got Charlie decapitated, but it was an accident. So at the support group, Annie meets this girl named Joan. Joan, we got beef because Joan decided to tell Annie to try to do a seance to communicate with Charlie. Now that don't make no damn sense because everybody knows that when you be doing seances, the outcome is probably going to be bad. So of course they tried the seance and bad things happened. For example, Annie, the mother, started talking using Charlie, the daughter's voice. That doesn't happen in the real world. So now you done opened up a portal or something. Now you done messed with the demons. And I feel like the whole family gets tormented because of that. Later on, Annie is going through this photo book and she finds out that Ellen and Joan, aka Annie's mother, and Joan, that lady she met at the support group, were friends. They knew each other. You know how they knew each other? They was witches in a whole coven. And look, they was worshiping a demon king, and it's crazy. They done said the demon's name many times in this movie. I was like, I rebuke it. And a bunch of other scary stuff happens with Peter. I'm not gonna tell the end of the movie, but the end of the movie, is what scared me the most. Besides the decapitation of Charlie. Yeah, I only need to see that movie once. Moving on. So this next movie is called Suspiria? Is that how you say it? Okay, anyway. So this movie's about my girl Susie from Ohio. She had to be from Ohio. But anyways, she wants to go to this dance school, which is a mess. Not because it's a dance school, but because of what happens in this dance school. So there's this girl, Patricia, at the beginning of the movie, and she's scared as heck talking to this doctor like, hey, I think that these people at this school are witches, and they doing witchcraft, and they making my body do weird things. And the doctor's like, what you talking about? What you talking about, girl? And she's like, you need to listen to me because I'm being serious. But of course, the doctor thinks she's delusional. Meanwhile, my girl Susie, well, not my girl Susie. Susie's auditioning to be a part of the school. And she's impressing the teachers. But little did Susie and everybody else know that night, the teachers, AKA the witches, were deciding who the next leader of the witches was gonna be. The next day, the class was rehearsing for a new dance recital or something. And the lead dancer, Olga, is angry because Patricia is gone and she blamed the teacher. She like, it's your fault that Patricia is crazy now. And Olga quit. She was like, peace, good job, Olga. And so since Olga quit, Susie was like, oh, can I try out for that part then? And the teachers, AKA the witches, were like, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, do the dance right now if you want the part. Little did Susie or anybody else know, the witches, AKA the teachers, put a spell on Susie. So every time Susie would do a ballet move, my girl Olga would feel the pain. She would feel the cracks of her body going this way. Like if, for example, if my girl went into arabesque or something, AKA a ballet move, I think my girl Olga's leg would be like, crack! Ow, that hurt. But you know what I mean. And that part for me was the scariest part. But anyways, the witch teachers are like, we need a fresh new body so that the lead witch can go into that body. So of course, the person they choose for the lead witch to go into is Miss Susie. So they was like, Susie, you're the lead, you're the winner, you're the one. She was #1 everywhere because she was about to be the host. Anyway, some crazy stuff goes on, and at the ending, all the ballerinas do this dance, which I think really was some kind of ritual or something because it looked crazy. And after all the dancing and sacrifices and the craziness that goes on, Susie reveals that she is the true mother, the true #1 witch girl, I guess. But the way I explained it makes it less scary, but it was actually scary. All right, so this last movie is called Mother, and this movie should have been called Anxiety because that's what it gave me the whole time I watched. Anyway, so this movie starts out with him. I don't even think he has a name, but we're gonna call him him. And at the beginning of the movie, it shows a burnt house. He, a struggling poet with writer's block, takes a crystal and places it on a pedestal in his study. Like, I was like, why did he do that? What does that got to do with anything in this movie? Because it just started. But as soon as he did that, it was like the house became new again. Like it was broken down and then it was like beautiful all over again. And then his girl, AKA Mother, wakes up and she's like, where's my man? Because he was not beside her. I think she like went downstairs and found him later, but there was a knock at the door. And when they opened the door, it was a man and he was claiming to be a doctor and he was like, I need a room, I need to stay in this house. And they didn't even know this man. But him, the guy, was like, sure, come on in, stay right in this room over here. Like, you don't even know him. And Mother was like, excuse me? But she had no choice but to agree. And as they took this man in, later on that night, he starts dry heaving and breathing all weird, and Mother is like hearing that shit. She's like, excuse me, if you're gonna stay here, you need to be right. And she looks and sees on his side, he got a wound. It's a bad one. But she's like, that ain't none of my business. And she go to sleep. The next day, the wife of that random man who showed up at their house comes to their house and is like, hey, let me stay here too. And Mother's like, no. But him, her man, is like, why not? Can we just let her stay too? I mean, that's his girl. So like, why not? So him is out here letting everybody stay in this house and Mother's not feeling it. And she just about to kick them out. But before she could, him is like, wait, he's actually a fan of mine. And his dying wish is to meet me. So just let him stay. So she feels bad and is like, okay, whatever. But here's the tea. Their new guests decide to break that crystal that our poet cherished at the beginning of the movie. And my dude, him, he went sicko mode. He got mad and started boarding up the study. He's like, nobody can come in here because y'all just up my shit. So mother's about to kick everybody out, but before she can even kick people out, guess who shows up? 2 sons of the man and woman who decided to stay at their house. And they're like, hey, my dad's about to die, as you can see, and we about to get his will. So the 2 sons start fighting over the will of the dying man in their house in front of the mother. And the mother's like, no, this is not happening. And one of the sons ends up hurting his brother before leaving. Really bad. He hurt him really bad. So while one of the brothers is bleeding out, him, the man, and the woman take that brother to the hospital, leaving mother alone in the house. So alone, mother is cleaning up and stuff until she sees a trail of blood leading to a tank of heating oil or whatever that was, hidden behind the basement wall. What is that there for? We'll find out, maybe. But everybody comes back home and is like, so the son who got hurt, he died. Well, dang, they didn't even have time to be sad about the death because dozens upon dozens of people arrived at mother and him's house. I cannot believe how many people arrived at this house. It would overwhelm anyone. And they came to mourn the dead son, as if mother was hosting the funeral at her place. She was not. So these people were rude, throwing stuff, breaking the sink. It was insane. So mother snatches him up and is like, why'd you invite all these people? And they start arguing and stuff. And you know what happens on movies when they start arguing. They start kissing and stuff starts happening. So that happened. And the next morning, mother says she pregnant. And that right there inspires him to start writing again, which is great. And blah, 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 time passes as they prepare for the baby that's coming. Good, right? No. But him finishes up his poem and reads it, and it becomes a bestseller. I'm talking everybody loves it. And as a celebration, mother decides to make a meal. But guess what? Fans interrupt. And mother's like, can you tell them to leave? And he's like, no, this is a celebration. My book did well. Everybody come on in. And mother's like, no, I'm locking these damn doors. But before she could, everybody pours in. Anxiety comes back. And these people start stealing things, breaking things again, and acting a fool. And because of that, I think it caused the mother to go into labor. So here she is about to have a baby when there's tons of people in her house. She can't find no quiet, no focus. So him decides to take her into the study so she can have her baby. After she has the baby, him is like, the fans want to see the baby. As soon as she had it, she didn't even get to spend time with her own baby. So she's like, no. But look, when she falls asleep, him decides to take the baby. Y'all, he ain't shit. He took the baby to show the fans. And the way that they pass this baby around, I'm telling you, they pass it around like a football. And the baby ends up dying, which is terrible. I cannot believe these fans acted like this. But wait, y'all, it gets even worse, because not only did they kill the baby, they ate it. This movie is insane. They ate it. The mother is mad, obviously, and decides to attack them with a shard of glass or something. She was like, no, y'all ate my baby. It's y'all next. But she ended up getting jumped because there were so many of them and only one of her. So they beat her up. That was tragic. But nah, because mother is done. They took away her baby. She's taking this whole house. So she went over to the furnace, that little oil thing, and she burnt it, and everything explodes and incinerates, and everybody burns. For some reason, him didn't get hurt by the fire at all, but mother is severely burnt, y'all. She is a crisp. And I think at the end, she was like, what are you? Since you didn't die through this fire and I'm burnt and you not? And he says, I am I. That's the kind of reply that I would say. But he said, I am I. And mother was home. And then he asked for her love. And when she agreed, he took her heart out of her chest, which he tears open and reveals that crystal at the very beginning of the movie. And so he takes the crystal out and places it into the pedestal where the house forms back into a beautiful house, and the shit starts over again. And a new mother appears. It's not the same mother. It's a different mother appears and asks, where is he? Where's him? And that's how it ends, y'all. And I honestly just can't watch that movie anymore because of the anxiety it brought. You will see once you see how many people was all up in that house, in that small area. Nope. But those movies right there are some of the movies that I will probably not watch again unless somebody forces me to or asks me to or whatever. But if you enjoyed this and want me to give you some more movies, make sure you give it a like and share it with your friends. Let them know about this tea. And don't forget to buy, stream, and download my music because it does indeed slap. Ouch. So have a great day in the name of the Lord, and may God bless you every step.